Well, greetings and salutations, test takers. This is Dean Tenney, aka the Series 7 Guru. We award a coaching call at the end of each of our live streams, and Rachel's kind of unique here because somebody gifted their coaching call to Rachel. We have like a wheel that spins around. Long story short, and well, we were so hoping Rachel would win, and it was almost like the universe was conspiring a little against her because her name would show, and then it flipped right at the last minute. I sometimes watch like Wheel of Fortune with my mom, and they'll spin their wheel, and they're either going to win 100,000 or they go bankrupt. So, anyways, that person was kind enough, since they'd already passed their exams, to do that. And one of the common things people like to do is some practice questions together. In the time allocated for the free coaching call, we have time to do about 20 of these. And I had recommended to Rachel that we spend these coaching call minutes doing unit in Kaplan disclosures, unit 12 and 13 ethical practices, because on the 66, that is 25 questions. All right. Well, so with no further ado, which of the following statements is true about the compensation of a registered investment advisor? So go ahead and just give it your best shot, Rachel. And then you and I can talk about, I call it explain, about whether it's something to worry about or not worry about, and how that relates to your exam.
Okay. Definitely not C.
You're correct. It's not C. I call that process of elimination. Now you can't do this on their screen at the exam because they'll be mad at you. But let's just get rid of that one. You are correct. That is not the correct answer. So it sounds silly, but a 1 in 3 is better than a 1 in 4, right? So. I would know, Rachel, anytime it says it's not necessary to disclose something.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not.
Yeah, we should just knock that one out right away, right?
And then
sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Yep. Babies. I want to say it's D.
You are correct. You are correct indeed. So boom. Correct answer. Good job. All right. Let's move on to our next performance opportunity. Which of the following is an example of a prohibited business practice known as front running? I just want to comment to those who are watching the replay. As I mentioned, I had recommended that we do this. And questions like this, I just like to comment and say it's much more likely you'll be able to pick up more points from questions like this than going down to some rabbit hole on quantitative analysis. Unethical business practices, disclosures is lots of a target-rich environment.
Okay. These answer sets are so long. It takes me.
I'm with you now. Have you put a clock on yourself just to know how long it's taking you to get through the performance opportunities in terms of practice questions?
Not like, I mean, a full practice one I've been doing in like about 2 hours.
Okay. So, I have just finished a tutoring session before our time together. And I have a young lady who we did an entire practice final, and she gave me permission to put it on the channel. And I get so many comments as, did she pass? Because I guess she was taking a long time. It was okay because she was coming up with the right answer. And I got to send her an email today, say, you are such a kind of a quasi celebrity. People are always asking about you. And today the person told me they looked her up on Brochure check, to make sure she passed. I thought, oh my goodness,
Oh my God. Okay. Not C.
Not C, you are correct.
Not B.
You are correct. 50-50.
D?
I'm sorry?
Is it D?
D is incorrect. D is what's called a pump,
Okay.
pumping up the stock by, publishing that, right? Strong buy several days before. Well, no, that's okay because before it would go up, but there. It's actually A. Front running is trading ahead of customers. Big no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Big no-no, right? A broker-dealer publishes a strong buy recommendation for ABC several days before purchasing. Several days after would have been a problem, but several days before
Mm-hmm.
not be a problem. So it's actually A.
Okay.
All right, not bad. But don't just, the takeaway is make sure trading ahead of customers, big no-no. And that is called front running. I think on the test, it'll be just definitional.
Mm-hmm.
Ahead of customers are prohibited practices known as, and you got to come up with front running. An investor owes an undivided loyalty to its customers, clients, and therefore is considered to be. What is the relationship that investment advisors have to their clients?
A fiduciary?
Absolutely. Right. That's an aim and shoot, point and click. That's a layup on the test. They don't get much straightforward than that.
Yep.
If an agent, so key point on the test, agent means you work for a broker dealer.
Mm-hmm.
So agent thought that a technology stock was undervalued and actively solicited. So that means it's your idea. You're calling customers saying, hey, I got an idea here. Here's what I think we ought to do. That means it's your idea. That's what solicitation means.
Well,
From
to
all her
solicit, I was going to say to solicit an order from all customers.
So that is called, what is that called? Do you know what that's called?
That is called unethical.
It is unethical. So now you listen. So now you have two choices, right?
Yeah.
Unethical because the firm is not recommended, or it's just unethical. This is called a blanket recommendation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, blanket. Yep.
Is unique. So you're correct, right? I say, Rachel, I need to know more about you to know whether this solicitation is appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to make blanket recommendations.
Right.
Excellent. A client who is a famous tennis player, woohoo, offers to record a testimonial for a covered investment advisor. So covered means I'm a federally covered advisor. That means I have $100 million in assets under management or more, where I can choose, or 110, whatever the case may be. The recording will be used in a television commercial under the SEC's marketing rule for investment advisors. The firm may
D.
You are correct, right? It's always about sunlight being the best disinfectant. We have to disclose that the client and any extent to the compensation we paid, right? Excellent. Under the Investment Advisor Act of 1940, it is legal for an investment advisor to do which of these? It is legal for an investment advisor to do which of these?
They can keep the commission.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay. So it's two.
You're correct. That means you got a 50-50.
Mhm.
Oh, you got one less than 50-50 because there's got three.
Yeah, so, okay. Rebate the commission. Um, I think it's all of them, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, this one's really tricky. On the FINRA side of the business, we are not allowed to rebate commissions on you.
Mm,
So it's
okay.
actually number 3, which is C. I think that was a tough one.
Yeah.
You know, I always think when I'm watching sometimes one of those television shows, and I'll see it's like a real estate show, and the real estate agent says, "Hey, I'll throw back in my commission to make this deal possible." I always go,
Mhm.
"Oh my God, I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to say, hey, Rachel, I'm going to make a $4,000 commission on this mutual fund. And, you know, to make it happen, I'll kick back to you or rebate to you 1,000 of my commission." Absolutely not. So that's why 1 is out. But it
Okay.
is 2 and 3. I can reduce my investment advisory fee. So that one was a tough one.
Yeah,
I think test that. I think
the multiple ones really like are tough on this.
because if you don't like them, I kind of like them because you can do what you kind of did there, which is get 2 and then
Yeah,
but on the real test,
sometimes. Yeah,
you're not going to get a whole bunch of those.
yeah.
So, which of the following would be considered a prohibited practice if performed by an investment advisor rep without appropriate disclosures? Without appropriate disclosures.
Um, Inheriting is prohibited.
Inheriting 200 shares of a New York Stock Exchange, if that was an agent of a broker dealer, that would be correct. But this is not about an agent of a broker dealer. It's about an investment advisor rep, right? Without appropriate disclosures.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be that.
And by the way, you could kind of a test taking trick here. You could also just play that out in your own mind. If you happen to have a relative who owns that stock and they die and they, you know, give that to you, that it just happens to be one that your firm is recommending, that's really not a problem.
Mhm.
So C is not a problem. Now, it would be a problem if you killed the customer to get the 200 shares.
Yeah.
That would be a problem. So, I mean, what I'm saying there, Rachel, would be different if I have my customer name me as their beneficiary or something. That would be definitely unethical. But there's nothing about that. So we don't want to bring extra into questions, right?
Okay, it's not B and it's not C.
Yeah, think about this. You're correct. That leaves D. Would you be mad if, unbeknownst to you, I was actually executing trades and without you knowing, making another $1 million in commissions off your account, in addition to my $500,000 in advisory fees?
Mm.
So you think you're making $500,000? Now you find out I'm making $1.5 million. Oh yeah, you're going to be mad, right?
Yep.
So if I'm making commissions as well as those fees as an investment advisor, meaning I'm a 766, I'm making a payout based on transactions you do with my firm, as well as an investment advisory fee that is part of goes back to me, absolutely needs to be disclosed. So that is very much a test question. A client of an investment advisor needs a bridge loan and approaches the investment advisor. Now, remember, that's the firm. To see if the firm is interested. Because the IA is not in the business of lending money, a special agreement is drawn up specifying the terms of the loan. Under the North American Securities Administrator Association model rule on ethical business practices of investment advisors, investment advisor reps, and federally covered advisors, the loan
Mm, like part of me wants to say A and part of me wants to say C.
Uh, well, we're not, yeah, A says if the IA is affiliated with the bank. Well, if it was a bank loan, that would be different, but it's not asking for the bank loan. What they're asking for is a bridge loan, temporary financing until they get a longer term loan. That's what they're asking about. And you wouldn't be able to do this unless they actually terminated the investment advisory contract. We're not going to be able to lend them, without being a bona fide lending institution. So that would be B. Again, I think that one's unlikely to show up on your exam. Which of the following activities are prohibited under the Uniform Securities Act? Prohibited under the Uniform Securities Act.
Definitely 2.
2, man. Yeah, you should definitely know 2. A material fact, very testable, is a fact that might alter your investment decision. I saw this investment securities professional being interviewed, and they asked why he didn't tell the client this information. He said, I thought I'd lose the sale. That is the all-time worst answer. I can't think of a worse answer than that. I'm supposed to say, Rachel, this might alter your investment decision, but something you ought to know. So 2 is most definitely a huge violation. You are correct. That 2 is a big, big no-no.
Practice not. I mean, is prohibited or is unethical always prohibited?
Yeah, absolutely. So I use that section of the ridiculous, Rachel. Number 1 is saying, if I can come up with some clever way to rip you off, and then I get caught, I go, wait, I didn't see in the Uniform Securities Act where it said I can't do that. Oh, you're absolutely right. One, if you could, it's still, you can't act unethically, right? The one I think of here, Rachel, there's nothing expressly in the Uniform Securities Act about what I'm about to do. I'm going to tell 500 people to buy and 500 people to sell the same security. I'm going to tell them I'm at 250 of people I'm right. So I'm going to tell 125 to buy, 125 to sell the same security. I now have 125 people I've been right with twice. I call 62, 63, tell them to buy or sell. I'm going to end up with a core group of 25 people that think I'm a genius because I've been right 5 times. And then I say, Rachel, this is the one to take out the mortgage on the house on. Now, I don't know. There's no official thing in the Uniform Securities Act about what I just did. Maybe they'll name it after me. Maybe they'll call it the dean, But, if you can't see it's unethical, it's unethical, right? So you definitely need 2. You definitely need 1. So now you got to decide about 3.
I think 3 also because it's saying again without disclosing.
Anything that says hidden or not disclosed or anything like that is going to be bad, right? Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Disclose, disclose, disclose. If an agent executes a transaction for a customer, but uses the wrong account number, he or she should.
It's definitely, I'm just reading them all.
Yeah.
Definitely D.
Yeah, right on. Boom. It happens.
Yeah.
I was talking to a customer what happened, and I said, oh, we're looking good on that trade. He goes, Dean, what do you mean we're looking good? I said, well, we sold it. And he goes, Dean, we didn't sell it. We bought it. I go, we did. I go, oh, I better check that out. And then I called the trade. And I said, did I call that in? And they go, yes, you called it in that way, Dean. Would you like to hear yourself on tape screwing it up? I go, well, I guess, yeah. So it happens. It happens. Now, it better not be intentional, right? It better not be that I'm trying to, put in the wrong account to, up to some shenanigan of some type. All right. So Adele, a retiring social worker, has some money to invest. An agent, that would be you on the BD side, suggests that you look into investing and a private placement. Ooh, Reg D. You know, I'm already being prejudicial reading the question. The social worker, I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure she's going to be qualified for a private placement. You know,
Yeah.
and next thing I'm going to be looking for is this a private placement under Reg D 33, or is this a private placement under the Uniform Securities Act? Because those can be and are different things. Okay, so in an apartment building in Puerto Rico, according to NASA, statement of policy on dishonest, unethical business practices, broker dealers and agents, which of these are true?
I'm gonna go with 1 and 2.
I love it. I love that. That was great. Aim and shoot, point, click. That's what that
Yeah.
should be, right? Because again, there's no immediate income here because we've got to build the apartment building. There's no tenants yet. And you should definitely know that private placements are typically not liquid, right? They're usually organized as partnerships, and therefore you would need GP permission to get out. According to the Uniform Prudent Investors Act, it is not a breach of a fiduciary duty if investment advisors do not inquire into a client's
I mean, we need the social, but I don't know if that's part of fiduciary duty.
It is not. You're right. That's just a part of the money laundering, other things.
Right.
We definitely need, I call this the Sesame Street trick. One of these things is not like the other. We definitely need your financial situation. I say, Rachel, for me to do a really good job for you over time, I need to know a lot about you. The more I know about you, the better I'm going to be in determining suitability. And in fact, Rachel, what I like to do with a lot of my clients like yourself is as of today, as of November 29th, 2:30 Pacific time, do a little balance sheet. Could you tell me about your current assets? Could you tell me about your long-term assets? Could you tell me about your current liabilities, your long-term liabilities? And Rachel, what I'd like to establish is your net worth. And then what I'd like to do is hopefully can revisit this and, work on that. Do you have any specific financial needs? You know, like how much do you need a month if you're retiring, or what do you need for a down payment on a house, or, what are these financial needs you have? And then what is your investment objective? Is it safety of principal? Is it growth? What does it happen to be, right? So all those are part of that fiduciary relationship. So you were correct. We do need that to open the account, but that's a different question. Excellent. P.S. I'd also like Rachel to do a little income statement with you to see how much money you have coming in versus how much money you got going out. Looking for perhaps some discretionary income that we can turn into dollar cost averaging, for example. That would be a wonderful kind of thing. Which of the following statements is correct? I'm sorry, D as in dog?
I think it's B as in boy.
It's not both. It's just the state registered guys who have to do it.
Okay.
Everybody wants to be federally covered because if you're federally covered, it's, life is so much easier.
Yep.
Now, remember, there is 2 net worth requirements. You know what the net worth requirement is going to be for an investment advisor who has custody or doesn't have custody. It's going to be 10 or 35 grand.
Yeah. I was gonna say that.
That's for state. And then remember, the other version of this is where I require a prepayment of fee for more than $500 for 6 months or more in advance. Right. So those are the 2. So C is not right? This is Kaplan being a jerk. By the way, I didn't give Kaplan their commercial, but we are using Kaplan QBank questions, and there's no better QBank than Kaplan. And, Kaplan allows me to give you a preview of their content. And if you want a Kaplan Q Bank as a paid supplement, you can get 15% discount at checkout with Guru 15. Sorry, I forgot to give a little commercial at the beginning. That's what allows me to kind of queue up Kaplan questions. Anyway, C is Kaplan being a jerk because it says 500 and it's not 500. It's more than 500.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, all test prep vendors got what I call, Rachel, gotcha questions, where you go, oh man. So
Yeah.
good news, the test will be a little more straightforward. So
Mhm.
the test itself won't have as many gotcha questions. So what I mean by that is be confident in your answers on the actual test. Don't go, oh man, this is too easy. It's got to be a trick. You want to be able to squeeze the trigger on those kind of questions, right?
Yeah.
Which of the following statements regarding the brochure delivery requirements of the Investment Advisory Act of 1940 are true?
I think it's all three.
You're doing pretty good on these ones. You're getting the multiples you need in the answer, but I commenting you're throwing in the extra one that isn't a part of the answer, right? So it's not port 1A, right? It's part 2 that needs to be updated.
Okay.
So it's 2 and 3, not 1, 2, and 3. Right. But that was close. Like I said, I was, a person who's trying to help you out. I don't think that's a bad miss whatsoever. Right. That's just one of those things where you go, well, man, and the test will be a little more straightforward. One way in which an investment advisor acting in the capacity of an agent in a transaction with a client differs from a broker-dealer performing the same task is that the investment advisor I'm sorry, which one?
D as in dog.
Shall disclose agency capacity before the completion capacity before the transaction. It's again close. It's before the completion of the transaction. So another one, I'm not feeling upset with that. You were close again, but it's not before the transaction. Before completion of the transaction.
Okay.
Small difference, but
Yep.
broker dealers don't have to do that. An investment advisor is a member of a country club and provides a substantial fee reduction to those members who become clients. The advisor justifies these club numbers are known for great referrals. The IA charges regular credit clients a fee that is larger for the same services because they are not members of the country club. Is this permissible?
B.
It's not permissible because the firm is charging other clients' fees are excessive. Well, there's nothing in this question that gives us a clue that the trades are excessive. So you can't bring extra stuff into questions. I had somebody, Rachel, I was working with the other day, and I said, where is any of that in the question? I said, my God, you're brilliant. I mean, to even, imagine that universe and then tie it back into the question. Oh my God. I said, don't use your brain housing group against yourself. Don't outsmart yourself. There's nothing in this question that says anything about excessive fees. It's saying that country club members are getting a different fee schedule than is the other customers. And that would be permissible as long as the proper disclosure is made. Now, I still think that's a good miss because our fees should not be discriminatory for no reason. I can't say, well, Rachel, you're particularly high maintenance as a customer, so for you up 200% on the commission schedule, right? But, that is the right answer. None of your misses, I don't want you to take away from this that, all your misses are close, which I like.
Right. Yeah.
You're not in like left field. I mean, you're in the
Yeah.
right. You're in the neighborhood, and we just got to fine tune that some of those answers. But I haven't had an answer where I go, oh wow, she's out. Hey, 66 over here.
Yeah.
With regard to the NASA statement of policy on dishonest and unethical business practices of broker dealers and agents, proscribed actions would include which of these?
Proscribed. 1 and 2.
Be careful on the phraseology. You're on the back side of the question. Proscribed is the fancy word for you can't do it.
Okay.
That's what proscribed means. Now, Kaplan intentionally tries to use the highfalutin legalese found on the test. So what I like to do on these questions sometimes is on my official scratch paper, just go next to each of them and read them and say true or false. Accepting an order from a third party after trading authorization has been received. That is, and it's saying ethical or unethical. So maybe I put that is ethical. There's no problem with that. Right. So we're looking for something that's unethical. By the way, that's assuming you know the word prescribed. I had a young lady, Rachel. Can you imagine this? Her primary language is Mandarin. And can you imagine? She was so frustrated. She said, Dane, I get these words I like prescribed. I put it in my Google Translator, nothing comes up. And I was kind of laughing. I said, it's not in English to begin with. It doesn't surprise me. I get attorneys who have to take it. They go, Dean, if I don't pass, it's going to be embarrassing. I go, absolutely, it'll be embarrassing. I mean, as an attorney, you should know this legalese kind of language. Right. You forward a written complaint from your customer to your appropriate supervisory person. That's what you're supposed to do. You offer to buy back a customer's security. You offer to hold them harmless from bad investments. No. Right? Borrowing money from a client who's your roommate. No. To borrow money from a client, it has to be a bona fide lending institution, not a natural person, not a living, breathing human being. So you said 1 and 2, and I think we were just on the backside of the question.
Yeah.
Right? If they would have said which of the following is okay, or don't you love the test, not proscribed, that would have been 1 and 2. Right? So again, I'm not worried about people on backside of questions. I'm more concerned like somebody who's on the complete opposite, like again, left field, right? Left field would be like you tell me 1 and 4 things that aren't the same.
Yeah.
They're completely different. So anyways, this is going to be 3 and 4. And so you might want to consider just on your scratch paper, write the multiple down, 1, 2, 3, 4 on your official scratch, and then put T or true or false, T or F next to it, or ethical or unethical, or yes or no, whatever the case may be. And by the way, even if you can't get all of them, even if you can just do a couple of them, that will help you get a better odds of answering, right? So if I know 1's ethical and 4 is not, then I can kind of shop that answer set and see what's available to me.
Yep. Okay.
According to the Uniform Securities Act, to determine whether an investment advisor is trading excessively, test question, what is that called? Trading excessively.
Churning.
Right on. Now, it does say that this is an investment advisor, so we're not talking about a broker-dealer here. So let's see if that has something to do with it. The regulators are primarily concerned whether
C.
Yeah, the advisor doesn't get compensated for the trades. Agents or broker dealers do. So I think that was the trick here, right? So we said churning, and if this was about an agent of a broker dealer, you would have been correct about B. But on the investment advisory side, it's more about, do those trades fit in with your objectives?
No, I said C.
Oh, you did? Okay, good. My
Yeah.
bad then.
Yeah.
Excellent, 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 excellent. A state registered investment advisor would be permitted to, and boy, really important on the test, whether you're being asked about a state investment advisor or federally covered, because the answers can be different for both that firm and that investment advisor representative, depending on which one it is.
It's not A.
It is not A.
Now I want to say either B or D.
You are correct. You are correct.
I think I'm going to go with D.
You are correct. Part 2 is that brochure. Indeed. You know, that 48 hours thing is about the 5 days in terms of getting the paperwork. Woohoo. Mary is a bowling buddy as Susan, a covered investment advisor. Mary refers Amanda, to a wealthy widow, to Susan. After a very pleasant meeting, Amanda places $5 million under management with Susan. If Susan were to give Mary a cash payment for the referral,
I want to say both of them would.
well, we got to pick one. Which is both, though?
C.
So you're looking at C, which says both Susan and Mary would have to disclose the cash payment to Amanda. Okay, so you're saying that Mary, who has nothing to do with our business, is just a bowling buddy of Susan, has to make a disclosure of some sort,
Yeah, no.
right?
Wait, hold on. So it would be permitted if Susan.
There we go. So it's
Yeah.
Susan who has to make the proper disclosure. And then if it's going to be compensation that exceeds $1,000 over 12 months, well, then that would have to have a written agreement with Mary, right? So excellent. All right. So there we go. You know, I helped you out a little bit on that. There's no better Kaplan Q Bank than the Kaplan Q Bank. And if you would like to join us on Tuesday night and win a coaching call, feel free to do so. And you can find replays of coaching calls in a playlist, replays of classes, coaching calls, tutoring, all that stuff on the channel. Rachel, thank you so much for being a participant in this. And I have killed the recording. Is there anything you'd like to talk about besides what we just?
I think I took a final, or not a final, but like the simulated exam yesterday and today. And I just don't know if I should do any more, or if I should just do some quizzes.
When you're testing Friday, you said?
Friday.
Why don't we do this? Here's what would be my recommendation. We don't want to wear you out.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to get tired. I love your Christmas tree, by the way. Is that a fake background or is that your real?
It's no, it's my real tree.
I love it. I love it. I would say let's cook. You know, I think you're 3 hour difference. So I would call it a day. Give yourself just home thinking about it. And are you a full-time study or part-time studier?
Part-time. I work for a team of, I work for 4 FAs.
Oh God, geez. I'm
so
all 4.
That's why this has taken me so long. Like my 7 was in June.
If you can, I would like you to try and do a practice test in the morning before those guys, men and women, suck you up, you know, energy.
That's what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. I've been getting up early.
Okay, let's get up tomorrow morning. So give yourself permission, relax today, try and be refreshed and reset tonight for a practice exam score in the morning. And then those 4 FAs, I hope they give you cover, give you space But if they don't,
Yeah.
I would just pretend that, you're working, but I wouldn't, I would
No,
not let,
I told them like this week, kind of like they know it's Friday, and I just said, not like leave me alone, but kind of like
that's, yeah, I get it. I get it. Tactfully, leave me alone. I got it.
yeah.
Get a practice score tomorrow. Let me know what that is and see where you're at. I think you're in good shape. So if I didn't think that, I would tell you that, you should, not
Yeah, I'm
test.
just a little nervous about the low 60s still, like I got yesterday.
Yeah,
But
the margin of safety would be in the 70 area. And I think we can do it, but I've had many people get 60 and pass. It's just, it would be better if we
yeah,
were on a higher score, but it is what it is, right? How
with
about
the
the week?
seven,
I mean,
I was scoring like 68 to
oh,
76.
it's like, and you're
So
2-0, right? Did you,
yeah,
so 3-0 should be an expectation,
yep.
right?
Thanks so much.
Are you doing, what study material are you using?
Kaplan.
Oh, good. Okay. So the QIDs
Yeah,
is, you can just send any of those to me between
yeah.
now and Friday if you need help on them. You don't, we'll just send them to me and I'll either make a little video and send it to you, whatever. Is that all you have in your possession?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay. So
that's
I'm going
fine.
to send you, my friend Brian, you've met Brian on live streams, his
Hmm.
test. I'm going to send that to you complimentary. It has a
Okay.
really good practice final in it.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah, I was before I
So
wanted to do that. I'll probably do that maybe tomorrow night or
you already have that or not?
I
So that,
don't.
okay, I'm going to send it to you. So that'll give us a
Okay.
really good mark. Now, I don't want it to be, we don't want to go backwards. So as I said, you got to guard your psyche. We got to finish strong. So I,
Tonight I'm gonna rest.
I don't want any woe is me. I want you, I'm going to finish this thing strong. Right. So
Oh my God, I can't wait till it's over.
I get it. Well, my channel sometimes go, hey, Dean, don't take it personal, but I'm unsubscribing. I'm done. I go, I get it. I come into your life for a reason and a season. The reason is to help you pass your test. The season is how long it takes you to get that done.
I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to unsubscribe, but
I get it. I totally get it. I do have people also show up and say, I'm not going to unscrew. Oh, thank you so much. All right. You know
all
what? If
right.
me,
Thank you.
send me an email with the score. I'd be interested to know that score tomorrow, right?
Oh, on the Brian's one
Get that to
or
you at some point today.
okay.
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 All
All
right.
right. Thank you.